we're in the key of C. Let's just hum this. If you have a guitar, join me. If not, just listen and tag and feel the information. Ooh, do. So this is 1 to 4. Now, interestingly enough, in the key of C major, we only have 3 major chords: the 1, the 4, and the 5. Now, I was trying to create some motion, so sort of like my first place to go to was between C to C first inversion. So I played this chord. Well, I actually played C major 7, but we'll get to that in a second. I played C here, C major, and then I went to play the C major and I doubled this G here. So this fingering is 3, 5, 5, and then I'm playing 7, 5, 5, and 8. So this is C major first inversion. Now, the important device that I want to talk about and figure out here is this passing chord, this passing diminished, which is a beautiful device. This is so nice, and it's being used in jazz and gospel and a lot of styles of music and Bach many times, because it's a beautiful motion that creates this kind of like, this pain, and then, oof, this resolution. So what is beautiful and interesting here, that although this progression, maybe there's some motion here, but the core of it is actually really simple. The core is just 1 to 4. The big motion, sort of like, if I really zoom out far, I just see something going from point A to point B, which is the 1 to the 4. Now, this is happening here, but there is some beautiful details that really makes our heart kind of like tick. So the C major 7 with a little hammer on. So this is the shape for C major 7, and just kind of a little hammer on between the 9 to the 3, right? Little details, and maybe even here the 5 to the 6, just giving it like a little something. And then going to that diminish. That's the thing that I love. So the fingering here, I'm playing with my second finger on the 5th fret. So 5, 5th fret on the A, then 5, 6, 4, and again 6. So this is a symmetric shape. This is basically B diminished first inversion, but the bass here is D. So this is the 7th degree that if I move it in minor thirds, this is basically the same chord with different inversions. That all in a second. So 1, C major 7, to this diminished beautiful passing chord, and then going to this first inversion. After that, basically those 3 chords are just sort of like an extension of the 1. So in a way, if I had to write, again, a very far chart, I would say just 1. All that is happening here is C. It is beautiful and it's really nice, but the core of it is just C major. This first inversion is the same as C. It just feels a little different. And there is a lot of space for these nuances, especially if you're comping and writing songs. But in reality, this is still C major, right? So I'm not doing a whole lot. So this is okay. We hear that. And then instead of just going to the 4, which is a really nice place to be, I went to the minor 6, which makes, again, kind of like stings your heart a little. There is some pain and some sadness. And the minor 4 is sort of stolen from the minor tonality. So it has this beautiful, beautiful kind of painful moment. Right, that kind of sound. And if you wanted, you can play on top of that some C major pentatonic or C minor pentatonic. These kind of ideas. Now, but let's focus for a second on the harmonic part. So we have that motion, we have that passing chord. So that means actually that we can, if we wanted to, whenever we have a C major, we can turn it into C major 7 to give it some lushness, and then I can do this passing chord to another C major 7. This is first inversion. Again, if this is hard, you can also just do major first inversion, but if you wanted to, you can do that. So you get so But check this out. I'm doing the same idea. I'm just trying to play a couple of variations. So C major 7, passing chord to major 7 first inversion, and then going to this F minor 6. So the shape that I'm playing here is basically minor 6 with 11. So I'm playing the F minor here and then playing the 6 on the top, but I also added this kind of sound. I even played that, I think. So we get this. Right, so what is starting to happen here is I'm trying to bring this thing alive, right? So I'm trying to move from an exercise, from something that is, well, you know, theoretically interesting and beautiful, but trying to bring it into the music. And it's really cool because, again, I'm trying to find a groove and find a pulse. One of the things that can help this variation is seeing the shapes in a couple of places. So I played this shape here, this minor 6 with a 9 on top. And you can also add the open string, so you get this super lush F minor 7, 9, and the major 7. I would do that in a case that I probably have the E kind of ringing. Right, something like that, that is like sort of like a consistent sound that is lush and really, it's not meaningless, but it's like a little clashy. In classical music, we call it a acciaccatura. So there are some chords, some moments in beautiful kind of pieces that are almost hard to explain in you know, theoretically. It's like a splash of color. It's like, whoa, what just happened? And the answer sometimes when you analyze these pieces and those moments is calling it a acciaccatura. It's like a beautiful kind of like clashy. So this is again minor 6 with the major 7. So it's a lot of color and flavor. Now I do want to try one more variation here where I'm taking the shell chord to this B diminished over D, so this is actually a D diminished, right? Because they're all the same. So major 7 from the 6th string, diminish, first inversion, and then another diminish. So this would be somewhat of a simplified option for us. So it's very important, even if you don't have a guitar at hand, try to feel the color. So I keep telling myself, do, re, mi, fa, which also harmonically is do, the C major 7, the 1, D, the passing diminished chord to 1, first inversion to F minor 6, which is painful and beautiful. And I can try to add that open string again. And maybe a little extension. So I didn't do too much. I played a C major 7 with that 6, and sometimes I just played a C major 7, the passing diminish, and for the C first inversion I just played that, and sometimes I added that top C here. And you can always play the C open, and with the F minor here I played this one, but sometimes I added the C on top. I love that sound of diminished, and I'm really encouraging us all to try and check it out. Thank you for listening. I'll see you soon. Peace out.